All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are tackling the one skill that can make or break your trucking business negotiating freight rates. We're going to give you the playbook to turn you from a rate taker into a confident rate maker. Let's get to it. So, does this sound familiar? You're out there on the road, putting in the hours, but when you look at the books, the math just isn't mathing. You're dealing with these low paying loads that barely cover your fuel, and it feels like your profits are just vanishing. Well, that frustration, it ends today. Because what we've got here is your step-by-step game plan. These are real, actionable strategies you can use on your very next call to negotiate with confidence and seriously boost your bottom line. Okay, first things first, let's be absolutely clear about what's on the line here. This isn't about pocket change. Your ability to negotiate is what determines if your business sinks or swims. Look, this slide really shows the two roads your business can go down. The one on the left, the one paved with low rates, that's a dead end. You're underpaid, you can't cover your costs, you're basically running a charity on wheels. But the road on the right, that's where we're headed. Higher rates mean you cover your expenses, you actually make a profit, and you can invest back into your business. Every single negotiation is a choice between these two futures. So before you can even think about asking for a better rate, you have to understand how they came up with that number in the first place. You can think of these as the basic ingredients that go into every single freight rate. It pretty much boils down to four key things that every single broker is looking at: how far it's going, how heavy or big it is, what kind of stuff it is, and what the market looks like right now. Let's crack each one of these open. First up, distance. Now, you'd think it's simple, right? Longer haul, more money. And yeah, that's often true. More fuel, more time. But here's the catch. A really short haul can sometimes get a higher rate per mile. Why? Because you still have all those fixed costs, like loading and unloading, but you have fewer miles to spread them over. Next, let's talk weight and volume. I mean, it's just physics. A heavier load is going to guzzle more fuel and put more wear and tear on your rig. And if it's super bulky, maybe it takes up your whole trailer. Both of those are totally valid reasons to ask for more money. Oh, and this one is a biggie: the type of freight. If you're hauling a simple, standard dry van load, okay, that's the baseline. But the second you get into anything specialized, like a reefer load that has to stay cold, or hazardous materials, or something oversized that needs a pilot car, you better believe you should be paid more for that extra equipment, that extra risk, and your expertise. And finally, the big one, the market. It's just plain old supply and demand. You know, when it's produce season out in California, there are way more loads than there are trucks, so rates go through the roof. But during a slow month, it can be the other way around. Knowing which way the wind is blowing before you even pick up the phone, that is your ultimate secret weapon. All right, the foundation is set. You know the rules of the game. Now for the fun part, your 6-step battle plan to take total control of every negotiation. This is how you get from prep to payday. This right here, this is your new checklist for every single load. Number 1, and this is non-negotiable, know your costs. That's your floor. Number 2, do your homework. Hop on the load boards and see what that lane is actually paying. That's your reality check. 3, figure out what they need. Is it urgent? Do they need it there like yesterday? Their urgency is your leverage. 4, set your target rate. Don't just aim to break even, aim to win. 5, make that counteroffer. Remember, their first offer is just a starting point. And finally, number 6, get it in writing. Always, a verbal agreement is basically invisible. And this right here perfectly sums up the single most powerful tool you have: the power to just say, no thanks. When a broker knows you won't haul cheap freight, they've got a choice: either meet your number or lose a good carrier. Your willingness to walk away is your biggest strength, period. Okay, having a plan is great, but it's super easy to trip up at the finish line. Let's talk about the common traps that cause truckers to leave a ton of money sitting on the table. So look at this. On the left, you've got the rookie mistakes, just taking whatever's offered, totally forgetting about fuel surcharges, or not charging extra for your specialized gear. But on the right, that's the pro playbook, always countering with a justified rate, making sure all your fuel costs are covered and charging what your special services are worth. This is the difference between just surviving and actually thriving. So let's bring it all home. How do you make all this second nature? How do you negotiate like a pro, not just once, but every single time, and build a business that lasts? You know, it really comes down to 3 professional habits. First, be professional. Don't just demand more. Explain why your service is worth it and back it up with data. Second, build relationships. The best loads don't always go to the cheapest truck. They go to the most reliable one. Be that reliable one. And third, stay informed. The market is always moving. The top earners are the ones who are always learning and adapting. You now understand the key factors. You have the 6-step plan, and you know the common mistakes to avoid. You have all the tools. So that phone's going to ring. A new load is going to pop up. The only question left is, are you ready to get the rate you deserve?